Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is African American literacy, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about African American literacy, Mr. Gregory Taylor, who is a researcher dealing with the African American experience. And Professor Taylor, Mr. Taylor, let's see if we can get from you some information dealing with your background, your education, and some of your experiences. And then we'll be able to get into African Americans and literacy after this first commercial break, which will give us 8 minutes and then 10 minutes to complete this project for today. So let's talk about your background, your education, and your experiences, Mr. Taylor.
Dr. Haney, I am from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a little town called Northport. Went to high school at Riverside High School and Tuscaloosa County High School. And we went to college at Selma University. And we also did some research in the areas of background. And I did substitute teaching. Certified teacher's assistant. I was also a substitute librarian, and we did a lot of research. And all the while I was in school, I was doing substitute teaching, and then I became a certified teacher. And having gone from different class to class, school to school as a substitute teacher taught me a lot. And the superintendent of one of the school systems in Atlanta hired me as a substitute teacher. He wanted me to teach mostly English classes. And he wanted the students to hear the language correctly spoken. And I was not that good of a writer. I actually called myself a scribbler. But what we did learn was that it was helping the kids to see the language being spoken. And my experiences has taught me that a lot of teachers can teach from the book. A lot of teachers have been certificated, but they're not certified. You know, and they know the language in terms of the laws of English and things like that. And you have what I call the speaking world, the thinking world, as well as the reading world. And there's different kind of thought in each one. And so I brought all of these things together. And the book that I have written is called Unrefined Thoughts for Thinking for Learning. And that book is designed to connect the totally illiterate, the functionally illiterate, with those that are literate. And these are the areas of these experiences in this particular area.
When you think about, Professor Taylor, the African American experience, and especially when you talk about literacy, and I think when most folks think in terms of literacy, they think in terms of reading and writing. You know, you say a person is literate, he's not. But now, when you think about the ability for African Americans to read and write, why don't you start in your earlier experiences in terms of your knowledge in reference to it, and where did we first come into contact with the written word?
Okay. Well, for me, I recall my mother teaching me the Bible. And this is very interesting, Dr. Haney. My mother made me feel guilty when I could not pronounce a word when she was teaching me the Bible. And I learned later that she did not know phonics. And you have a lot of teachers today in the schools who make their kids feel guilty if they didn't know certain things, so that the child will refrain from asking them different questions like that. And in kindergarten, I quit kindergarten because I was afraid of my teacher's voice, and my mother allowed me to quit. And I have learned, I attended the National Black Education Association here, and I sit in on the class, Why Johnny Can't Read. And it was spoken how a lot of African American males in preschool or kindergarten were ridiculed, embarrassed, and this planted negative thoughts in them when it comes to learning. And this is one of the things that has made me very sensitive in this area when it comes to training and the voice of the teacher, that type of thing. And that's the experiences that I recall in those basic years in getting started. And that's very important. I've did speaking engagements in Atlanta in literacy agencies where kids were learning to read, and they had a lot to say about their negative memory of how the teacher made them feel. And in the book, How to Talk So Kids Will Listen, and Listen So Kids Will Talk, it speaks about how a child may not know how to tell you how you made them feel, but they know how to feel, And so all of these things are basic things. They're affecting our education. I'm reminded of the lady of the Children's Defense Fund. She said on 2005 NBC News that our kids are being prepared in prenatal for prison. And Dr. Alvin Poussaint at Vanderbilt Medical School 2012, he spoke of how we must go into the prenatal area to help our kids today, how they have been imprinted, and the womb is their first world. So I'm one who see education which starts there, and we need to go there to help.
Okay, and let's take this first commercial break.
Okay.
And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.